The web application model. When writing for the web, you need to understand where code resides and executes. An ASP.NET application is hosted on a web server, which is where C# executable reside, but it renders HTML to clients via browsers such as Internet Explorer, i.e. C# web application. In all of this processing, your assemblies which were built with C# stay on the server. When ASP.NET receives a request, it sends it to your code for processing. The great majority of the time, you don't ever have to emit HTML manually, because the object-oriented ASP.NET APIs take care of it for you. The most important point to remember is that your C# code runs on the server, not on the browser. Scalability is a property of software that defines how well it can handle an increased workload. Applications that reach a threshold and then crash or slow to a crawl aren't very scalable. You want a scalable application that performs well at the projected peak capacity for your requirements. To add the component. In Solutions Explorer, right-click the project name. On the shortcut menu, click Add and then click Add Component. Add New Item dialog box appears and the component class in the right pane will be selected by default. Accept the default name, Component 1. Click Open. Unless you choose another name for the component, this creates a new file in your project named component1.cs or component1.vb depending on the application language. The component designer opens a design view on component1.cs or component1.vb. Creating the web application project using Visual C#. To create the web form, on the File menu, click New and then click Project. The New Project dialog box appears. In the Project Type pane, click Visual Basic Projects or Visual C# Projects, and in the Templates pane, select ASP.NET Web Application. Name your application My Web Form by changing the default name in the location box, such as http://localhost/web application1 to http://localhost/my web form. Click OK. The application wizard will create the necessary project files, including the following files. Webform1.aspx contains a visual representation of the web form. Webform1.aspx.cs or webform1.aspx.vb, the code behind file that contains the code for the event handling and other programmatic tasks. To see this file in Solution Explorer, click the Show All Files icon and then expand the webform1.aspx node. Webform files. Note, if Solution Explorer is not open on the View menu, click Solution Explorer. State management. In C# web application development, the global state management of application is taken care by different methods. Global state with the application is used to hold information common to all these application instances. This is where application state can be used. Here's an example of how to use application state. Holding updatable information cache is to hold information in memory to avoid the overhead of creating or retrieving that information yourself. Holding state for a single request features holds onto the state for an extended period of time. Holding too much information in memory affects the scalability of your application. Issuing cookies is information with a max size of 4K that you can ask users to hold in their browsers. Whenever the browser visits your site, it presents all cookies that your site gave to it. User-specific information with session state, which holds information for a specific user. When the user visits the page, ASP.NET issues a cookie with a session ID. It then manages session state for that user based on the user's session ID. Understanding page state in view state. Page reuse with master pages and custom controls more work than necessary to duplicate this information on each page, especially with ASP.NET, which instead enables you to implement user controls and master pages. Navigation. In C# web application development uses a hyperlink control, but that has a limited navigation. To add menus and other sophisticated controls, like breadcrumbs, to make a site more usable, ASP.NET enables you to do this with menu, tree view, and sitemap path controls. Defining site with web.sitemap, navigation with menu control, theming a site, securing a website, data binding. Theming a site. With themes, you can design a set of skins and CSS styles that apply to the entire site. To add a theme, right-click the web project, select Add ASP.NET Folder theme and name it Custom. You can add multiple themes. They must have different names. Creating skins. Add a label control to a page. Right-click the Custom Theme folder, select Add New Item, Skin File, name the file custom.skin, and click the Add button. Open custom.skin, copy the label control from step 1, paste the label control into the custom.skin file. Securing a website. In C# Web Application, select Website, ASP.NET Configuration, a website by selecting File, New, Project, ASP.NET Web Application. ASP.NET Configuration in the Projects menu. Click either the Security link or the Security tab. Click Use the Security Setup wizard. The wizard, which walks you through 7 steps, will open. The first screen is a welcome message. Click Next. ASP.NET enables you to use Windows or ASP.NET Security. To set up a custom database, run this exe file. Check the enabled roles for this website. Check box. Data binding. Data binding on a number of controls, including list view, form view, list box, drop-down list, and others. These controls have a data source property that takes an IEnumerable collection to bind to. Drag and drop a list view control onto the design surface of a web form. From the list view action list, select a new data source in the Choose Data Source area. After a couple of seconds, the data source configuration wizard will appear. You will see several data sources, most binding directly to the data source. Select Object, which is the Object Data Source control, and click the Next button. Select Hospital Manager and click the Next button. If you recall, Hospital Manager is a business object we created in the preceding section. Error handling. C# exception handling. Consider the error handling methods used in programming languages with no built-in exception handling mechanism. Error handling syntax. The basic try-catch block. Finally, blocks. Handling exceptions. Checked and unchecked statements.